Welcome to Bourbon and Badgers, the podcast, live in Studio 77 from Gastonia, North Carolina, and Calabash, the voice of the uncommon people.
Go. So what's happening, guys?
What's happening?
Well, you
What's going
cannot beat that intro. Oh, Dylan Reynolds from Shooter Express, man. I called him. Called him today, and I texted him today and said, "Hey, man, says you're famous." He takes back and forth, man, and he listens to it, man, and he's all excited. So I can do it again if you want to. I do it better if you want to listen.
So when you said you're famous, did he say, "I know"?
Yeah, then he's all excited. I said, "No, it's perfect the way it is, man. Just leave it like it is."
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Excellent intro. All right, man, coming to you from Studio 77
in North Carolina.
The voice of the uncommon people. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uncut,
right,
uncensored.
so-
all over North Carolina, actually.
You guys all excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, coming to you.
Yeah, I went by the ABC store today. I was telling them about that. Yeah. Oh, have y'all heard ABC stores in North Carolina may start opening on Sundays?
I did.
I didn't hear that.
And
Yeah, I guess they could pass it, and then it's going to be up to the individual board, I guess, if they do it or not.
I don't see why not. You know.
Yeah, I heard
I
they
know
open
it's
on
a religious
Sundays,
thing, Bible Belt type stuff, but
and they're gonna have happy hour. There's we can't happy hours illegal in North Carolina right now. So all that
So what do you mean
stuff
by
is in
happy
that
hour?
same bill, huh? What?
What do you mean by happy hour?
Happy hour. It's just discount drinks and discount food, at bars and stuff. They call it happy hour.
Oh.
It's illegal in North Carolina right now.
Is it really?
oh, really?
Yeah, it is.
So, how do you
I-
get around
I-
the drink specials? Because they have drink specials all the time.
No. They can't advertise happy hour at all in North Carolina. At all. If you put if a bar puts happy hour.
That might be true, but yeah.
Yeah,
But you can go to bars and say, "Hey, what do you have on special?" And they'll say, "Hey, I got this, I got that."
True.
But they just can't announce it, is what you're saying.
they just can't,
Advertise.
they can't say
I
happy
gotcha.
hour.
Okay.
But they're getting ready to do that whenever they
Always
pass
trying to
the
be
Sunday. Trying to
Yeah,
pass
try
the
to say
Sunday
something good
liquor.
there, Hound Dog. And you drag us right down.
Well, just
Well, no,
informing the people.
North Carolina always trying to bum us out. Why can't we have a happy hour? That sounds like a fun time.
Well,
Yeah,
South
man, we're the
Carolina has
highest.
happy hours all the time.
We are the
South
sixth highest tax state in the United States, if that tells you anything.
We are.
Yeah, we
yeah.
are.
That's something to
Oh,
be
hey,
proud
by the way,
of.
guys, you can't see it, but I am representing Gastonia PD K9 unit tonight.
Nice.
Nice.
Huh?
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, representing.
Nice.
Hey,
Sweet.
and just a note for people listening to us now or watching us now, we are actually podcasting on 9/11. So it's 9/11 stories.
Yeah.
But of
Right.
course, it's going to be the week after 9/11 because the Bigfoot stuff, the two back-to-back
Two
episodes of that. Yeah. So
Yep,
we'll be
yep.
a week behind, but we're actually podcasting on 9/11. So a lot of stories to tell, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Want to do stories? You want to do tastings? What,
Oh,
what do
yeah.
you want to start
Am I
this
getting ahead
party
of
with?
myself?
You want to start the party with some tastings so we can have some drinks?
Yeah, let's do that.
I like the way you
All right.
think there, Rodney Nader.
I think
You know, he was a
Rodney wants to
captain.
drink. Yeah. So we're going to do some, for everybody listening, Evan Willaim's bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey. It's 86 proof. And it has a mash bill, standby, of 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley. So it's a fairly standard mash bill, if you will.
Yeah, and it says on the side, genuine sour mash. I think every mash bill is a sour mash, is it not?
I don't know.
They advertise,
yeah, I
sometimes,
don't know
sometimes they don't. All right, so we're kind of like basement. What's what I'm trying to think of? Low end drinking, the bottom shelf stuff.
Yep. All right, let's
Less
start with the nose.
expensive.
What do you guys got?
Makes you miss old buck, doesn't it? I'm drinking the cheap stuff.
Always drinking the cheap stuff.
A lot of vanilla right off the nose.
Yeah.
Yep, you got that right. There's one other flavor they say that's in the nose.
No ethanol.
Anybody catch it?
A flavor?
I'm getting a little-
A scent. Vanilla and what?
Is it
Anybody
butterscotch?
catch it? According to my cheat sheet, it's mint. M-I-N-T.
Yeah,
Mint.
I can see that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but what do you think I'm doing?
Hey, we are
No,
professionals. You can't be
I'm
kidding on the
bullshitting.
show.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't bullshit about that, you know. All right.
No, what does
Yeah.
your shirt read?
Bourbon Whisperer.
Bourbon Whisper, I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
My beautiful wife got that for me a few
So is that a
years ago.
glass? You can't see for your microphone. Is that a liquor glass there in front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pour, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good. Nice.
Yeah. She got this for me, and I thought it'd be a good idea to wear it tonight on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because we
dude.
are what? A drinking show.
We are.
Yeah. All right, I'm going in for the taste. Tasting notes. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, it's not very strong on the nose at all.
Well, I get hit with a like slapped in the face with a corn taste.
I got slapped in the face with a burn going down.
Yeah, very sweet. It's very sweet corn.
Yeah. Yep.
Cheat sheets. Notes
Nice
of
legs
oak.
on it.
Notes of oak, brown sugar, and caramel.
Yeah, get the caramel.
Or caramel. Depending
Caramel.
on where you're at.
So
That's what Buck always smelled. Caramel.
nice legs on it.
Caramel.
It's
Oh shit.
bargain basement. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. Bargain basement bourbon. It's it's a bottom shelf. More of a mix or anything else, I think.
The finish, according to the cheat sheet here, is medium to long finish.
Yeah. And it's not
Semi-dry.
dry either.
I was thinking
You think it's
semi-dry.
dry?
I think it's,
You think?
no, it's semi-dry. It's still still there, but it's kind of like this kind of tapers off. Hey, did you guys have a hard time finding mini bottles?
I did.
You know, and just to educate our customers, our listeners are. What we do is because we're in 3 different locations, we all try to find the same mini bottles of whiskey, so we're not buying 3/5 of whiskey every week. Right. Yeah, I had a hard time in Tennessee, and because I'm on Tennessee line here, and here in Mitchell County, I had a hard time finding really decent bottles of whiskey.
Yeah, I did too. I went to three liquor stores today, I think it was. And every time I went into one, they had something different, so I bought one just in case. But yeah, it was not easy to find bourbon at the in the mini bottles.
So
I
what's
went
the
with a
price point
picture.
on this for a fifth? Do we know?
That's what I was going to ask somebody. Anybody get a price point on it?
I think it's like $17 for a fifth.
Yeah, it's less than $20, I think.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yep, you're right.
And just
$18.
remind our listeners, we are a controlled state, so it don't matter if you're up here in the mountains where I'm at, the coast where Hound Dog is, or in Gastonia where Rodinator is. It's the same price.
That's right.
No price gouging in North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
You guys want to rate that thing?
Yeah, want to rate it?
Sure.
I'm going to go with the taste is okay to me. It's got a little burn at the end, which sometimes I like, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
So price point's good. I give it about a 5.5.
5.5. It's hard to determine this. This looks bottom. Just not knowing it's bottom bourbon. I don't know. I go 6. I think it doesn't mix or anything else too.
Yeah, it is. It'll be a good mixer, but I kind of like the taste of it actually. So I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Oh, nice. And just so people know, we're 1 through 10. Anything 7 or above is a daily drinker. 10 is amazing. 1 is dog shit, and that's how we do. So, what's the tally there? 7, 6, and 5.5. Yeah. So we don't quite have a daily drinker here.
Nope, not quite.
According to
Didn't pass the test of bourbon and badges.
Nope, but it's not bad.
But if you watch, it ain't gonna slow us down any.
No. And we'll still drink the shit, so don't worry about that.
Hey, while we
Exactly.
got our glasses in hand, man, toast all the heroes in 9/11.
Absolutely.
Made that sacrifice.
Yep.
Here's to you.
Now, Ron, let's start with you, man. You got you're from up north, so you've got some friends up there that was involved in all that, right?
Yeah, brother-in-law too. So from Long Island, New York. Left when I was 18, but I was in school with a couple guys who ended up with FDNY, the fire department up there. And being 9/11, of course, they were involved, as well as my brother-in-law. He worked for a bank in New York, and he was up there in one of the towers. I want to say
So he's a civilian.
He's civilian, right? But he was in one of the towers, and he was there that day. So I got a couple of perspectives. The one is just a sad one, of course. The two firemen I went to school with, both responded first on scene and went into the buildings, as we all know, and they came down on top of them. So I lost two buddies from high school those, which is pretty much, that's the story, right?
Yeah.
But my brother-in-law is different because he was there and he lived through it. And the thing about him was, so he's working in one of the towers, seven or three, or I don't know, I forget. But he was all of a sudden one of the plane hits. He doesn't know yet, but the plane hits. Something comes over his the intercom at his office, and they say there's been an accident. Planes hit Tower 1 or whichever tower was first. Everybody just stay put. We're locking everybody in place. So they actually told him, you're not to leave the building. Stay where you are, and all this. He said he could look out one side of his building, and it was pitch black. And if anybody knows anything about the day, it was the clearest day. 9/11, 2001 was one of the clearest days, blue. But one side was black as night, and then the other side was clear. It was very strange, he said. So he's trying to call home and let my sister know everything's okay. But, of course, all the lines are just jammed, with people on the telephone trying to get out with cell phones and stuff. And then the next thing you hear is a second plane hits the other tower. And then they say, oh, hell. They say, everybody, go ahead and evacuate the building, because obviously now it's changed from an accident to deliberate. And so
we're definitely under attack at this point.
Oh, yeah.
We know it.
And as this was going on, too, he mentioned how, after he got out of the building, he thought to himself, he's a smart dude, where to go. And he just was thinking about, well, number one, he can't get in his car. Number two, there's no public transportation. It's gridlock, right? It's hell on earth, right? So he decided he just walked and went straight to Central Park and sat on a fucking bench and just sat there for a few hours, knowing that there's no one's going to target Central Park. So he just sat there rather than trying to get across the bridge here or there, because he lived in Jersey at the time. So, but he said some of the more, for a civilian person, terrifying things was seeing people jump out of the damn windows and smash on the ground like damn fucking watermelons and shit. It was horrifying, terrible. The people walking around who were affected by it, whether it was just the smoke or the fog or debris hitting them, glass,
or just
pieces
the shock
of the building. Yeah, everything. Walking around like zombies. And just, you try to help who you can, but it was just total chaos, and you couldn't see shit. It was you're blinding in that area. And as we all know now, the longer you spent down there and inhaled that stuff, I still have people now who, in fact, a friend of mine just retired from CMPD. He was FDNY for 5 years, and then he did NYPD for 5 years. 10 and 10. Got retired and then came to us in CMPD, and now he works for us at Charlotte Mac, and he just retired. But he was there, and he still goes back every year to check up for his lungs and to look for that cancer that they all get from inhaling that stuff, because he spent a week down there cleaning and digging through stuff, and without the proper respirators and different things, and
not knowing any better.
Right. And if you didn't start, and if you didn't think about it, and not only if you thought about it, but you're like, hey, we're looking for survivors, not bodies,
right.
Still at this point. So they were down there putting it on the line like they do, man. So he's so far so good, knock on wood, no problems. But a lot of people died on 9/11, but a lot of people died years after 9/11 as a result of 9/11.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, my brother-in-law still has, issues with it. It's horrifying, horrifying. So,
on that note, I saw a thing on the news tonight where there was 343 firefighters that lost their lives in 9/11. Right. There have been about that many that have died since 9/11 with complications of the cancer and all.
Yep.
So
Exactly right.
those guys, those heroes that died that day, they're still being heroes that are dying today for the
Sure.
same thing.
Exactly
And
right.
that's, it's terrible.
Exactly right. Yep.
Yep.
So to this day, he doesn't like to talk about it and chit chat. He's probably got a touch of PTSD from that shit. And anyway, but he survived it. But it was one of those things, boy. Oof. That was some major shit right there.
Yep.
But you said, Reggie, you had some friend, you had a friend up there too, didn't you?
Yeah, a guy said that was in the Renegade Pigs Motorcycle Club, which Slow Ride and I are a part of. Paul Lazinski. His club name was Axe. And from what I can gather on a brief telephone conversation before we started podcasting, Paul went into, I think it was a South Tower, to go and help people, get people out.
Was he a civilian?
No, he was a Port Authority police officer.
Okay.
Yeah. He was one of the, 23 or 24 that lost their lives that day. But he goes into the South Tower, and, you can imagine the chaos that's going on at this point. They see you pretty much couldn't see your hand in front of your face, because all, like you talked about a minute ago, Rod, but the smoke and dust and stuff like that. He goes in and somehow he finds a guy, and I think he's in a stairwell, and he reaches in. From what I never did meet Paul myself, but he passed before I came into the Renegade Pigs. But he was a big hulking man. He's tall, strong, worked out all the time, kind of like Rod Nader there. But he said they opened the door to the stairwell, reached in and felt this guy and grabbed him and he told the guy, said, "You're out." He grabs him, escorts him out of the building, then, I guess gets his bearings, whatever, goes back into the tower again. He, along with 4 or 5 other Port Authority officers, locate a gentleman in a wheelchair. They are working their butts off to get him out of the building when the building collapsed and killed them all. And, that's just to go in and see what's going on to save. I'm sure he saved more than one guy's life, but that's just what I was told on the telephone a while ago. But to do that, then go right back into harm's way to keep on doing it, and then you finally give the ultimate sacrifice. Boy, he's a hell of a guy.
Oh yeah,
exactly right. None of those Democrats was hollering defund the police the next day, were they?
No,
they was hollering that crap then, were they?
Exactly right.
And I tell you, one other thing, a couple other things about Paul was the guy that he saved, that he pulled out of the stairwell. He said he never did see the guy's face, the guy never saw Paul's face, but he did read his name tag and his badge number, and to this day he's got his name tag and badge number, I think, tattooed on his calf. That's what, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow,
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And one more thing about Paul, then I'll give it up.
Hey man, speak it.
He this wasn't the first time he went to the World Trade Center when tragedy struck, or when we were attacked. He went in I think in '91 when the bombing. I think the
one
first
that was
time
the one that was in the parking garage.
Yeah,
they drove the truck in. They drove the that delivery truck or something, or some moving truck into the basement and blew it up. Tried to take it out from downstairs.
Yep, I think it's Bin Laden then too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's the same crew of idiots, I think. Yeah,
but when that happened, Paul went in and I guess it went up the stairs, located a guy when they was trying to evacuate the building. Located a guy and carried him down 50 flights of stairs on his back.
No shit.
To get him out of the building. And I'm sorry, I don't know what kind of award he got, but he got some kind of like award, maybe a Medal of Valor or something like that from the Port Authority.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yep.
So that guy spent his life saving people. It's nice.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Damn.
So I got,
Yeah,
I got
oh.
a text message here, and I'm trying to see what it says.
How the police is taken for granted
Yep.
Yeah.
until
Exactly
the big
right.
bad wolf comes to the door. And then guess what?
Yep. Oh yeah. On a side note, I saw some one of the fine people in the woke community out somewhere. It was either in like Seattle or Minnesota or one of those places. She was one of the big proponents of a politician of defunding the police. And it so happened she got carjacked in her driveway.
Man, I just started to look that up. I just
Did you
picked
see
my
that?
phone up to look that up. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. She got carjacked by 4 guys in her driveway. Got her bell rung a little bit, got her ass kicked a little bit, and now all of a sudden she's yelling. She wants the police hot on it, man. She wants to find those. He wants them to pay the price. So much for locking up minorities and stuff. You know, we need to free everybody now. These particular minorities, they need to be punished. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I got right quick before we move on. I got one more thing. I just found out about Paul. He was in Tower 1, and I don't know if that's the North or the South Tower, but Tower 1, which was the first to get hit and the second to fall. He was actually 8 feet from getting out of the building safe and sound
Good
when the
grief.
tower collapsed.
Shit.
Yeah, they found his body on February 10th, and it happened on September 11th. They found him on February the 10th of the following year. That's about it, I think.
Yeah, sad stories. I mean, all heroes, man, and like I say, everybody, nobody wants the police till they need the police.
Damn right. Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that, but until stuff like that happens, and that's why it's important. And I think sometimes certain people get tired of hearing about it. Let's just move on, right? Okay, it's in the past. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Or when I tell my children about it, because they were born after it happened, 2 of them, one of them was, and the other was like a baby, and I just tell them, I said, you have no idea. One, I always tell my kids, there's evil in the world, and I never hid it from them. I would come home and tell them what's going on. So the first time, we've talked about this, I don't want the first time they encounter this evil, they're not prepared and they're out on the street and they don't know what to do. They'll be like, oh, Dad told me about this, and they'll know how to respond.
Oh, yeah.
So I always had arguments with people. You shouldn't tell your kids that. You're going to traumatize them. I said, no, I'm not going to try. They're going to get traumatized. They get their ass whipped on the street or get stabbed or something, or daughters get assaulted or something. That's going to be But if they know how to handle it, reality is reality, right? Can we agree?
Exactly right.
And if the world is the way the world is, then if you send your kids out without the right information, you're setting them up for failure and to be victims. That ain't happening with my family. So my kids are aware. They're very well aware. They're very well equipped to take care of themselves. And they got a good head on their shoulders, and they know that there's evil out there. And
So
their head's on a swivel.
About the military and about police, we're good men prepared to do violence against evil men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
We said plenty of times on other podcasts, the difference between the bad guys and us is, police can be very violent. We can control our violence. We can turn it off, turn it on. A lot of times bad guys can't do that.
Yep. A good man is a man that's capable of great violence but can control it. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Because I'll tell you what, the evil will bring the violence. And if you can't match the violence with more violence, you get slaughtered. That's a wolf and a sheep predicament there. Yeah.
Yeah. You get hurt quick.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
That's like
some people, and some people aren't capable of it. So they need people like you and me to do it for them. And that's fine. Yeah. It's when they judge us afterwards that pisses me off.
That's like when we're doing search warrants. We're doing search warrants for takedowns, when I was in narcotics and on patrol. If you have to hit somebody hard and fast to where they don't know what in the hell is going on. Before they know that they're just sitting there, 1 minute standing upright, shooting the shit with their buddies. Next minute, they're face down on the ground with handcuffs on.
It's the best way to do it because it keeps them safe.
Yep.
It keeps them safe and it keeps us safe.
Well, that's why I always tell the guys too at work. If you got to hit somebody, an assault's an assault. You just smack them in the face, or if you knock them right between the eyes as hard as you can. I said, if you're justified in having to hit somebody, if you have to hit them, by God, you let them know my man just got a hold of them. Man, somebody bad just got a hold of me.
And
you ring that bell.
And that I also tell the guys, just what you said. Plus, it looks a lot better to see Slow hit somebody one good haymaker and knock them out than to see Slow hit somebody 12 times in the face because he's hitting them half.
Yeah.
You know, that constant this. Oh my God, the police officer abused that man. He should, rather than a boom out.
Yeah.
Oh no, he just hit him once. That's all he did. He hit him once. I've taken statements. When people see you hit him once, no matter how hard it is, they're good. When they see you on top of them, wearing them out, he shouldn't do that. He's the police. That's what you start to get.
Exactly right.
The one hitter
Very
quitter
true.
is the one you need. Yep.
I agree.
And it's good that the majority of the community is naive to that. They're naive.
Yeah,
they go day to day. They don't think about things, and they don't have to think about things because you've got
Police to call.
Yeah, you got the police, you good men and women watching. Watching.
You have to think about it. I'll just call 911.
Yeah.
But you got some idiots that think they're above the law. They think just because they're whatever reason, they don't have to abide by the law. And we talked about that earlier. The Ohio lady got shot by the cops. I mean,
A little background on that. She, this lady in Ohio, was pregnant. She went into a liquor store. Don't ask me why she's drinking when she's pregnant, but she went into a liquor store to steal liquor. And she got out to the car. Police approached the car. One was standing in front of the car, and one was standing at her window telling her to step out. She was saying, why? He said, ma'am, people say you stole something. You step out with the check.
My God, because I'm the police and I said so. That's
exactly. Well, he's pretty polite. Body camera's on. And she says, no. And she puts it in drive and drives. And as a result, the officer in front of the car kind of had to step to the side and got bumped by the front. And he fired a shot off, which hit her. And then the car came to a stop a little bit up a ways, and she passed. And now, of course, the BLM idiots are out riding, and we're not riding, but marching in the streets. So they're resurrected again now. Here we go.
Rioting soon to follow, I'm sure.
Of course.
Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah. BLM. Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
One of the most racist organizations they are in the world.
It's one of the fraudulent ones as well.
Yeah,
Nothing but a money grab for the upper tier, and they use the useful idiots to march in the streets and act like morons. That's all it is. That's exactly what it is.
Takea Young, 21 years old. It's sad anybody dies, but she made that decision.
Yeah,
they say, why did he have to shoot her? And I say, well, why did she go to a liquor store to steal liquor? I always say, why is it? Yeah, exactly. Why did you try to run over? Why didn't you just listen? The bottom line is this: when you do something wrong and the police catch you, if you just comply, you're going to be fine. And hell, you might even have your day in court and get off. I don't know.
Yeah.
But comply. When you don't comply, bad things happen. We're not just going to let you go. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Right.
The bad guy always dictates the outcome.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Each and every time.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And we've talked about this on the podcast before, man. It's just, your actions is going to dictate our reactions.
Oh yeah.
Just like the use of force continuum. You use a knife, I can use a gun, you use your fist, I can, it's the same thing. I can use my stick, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
And, and we're not paid to get hurt. We're not paid to get our asses whooped or to get run over by a car. So that's not happening because I got people who love me, want me to come home. So all you have to do is comply. I tell you what, all you have to do is not steal. There's that.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's that, and you're pregnant drinking. I don't know. Not a good idea. So,
Probably
but
not.
anyway, all that'll be ignored, right? And it'll be nothing but the cop's action, as she's driving the car. That's all it's going to be. Nothing else will be nothing else. Nothing else she did. And they'll have pictures of her when she was young as a cheerleader or doing this, or she's in church. And she's great. Exactly.
You get the biggest thug in the world who's got Facebook page posts where he's holding guns and money and drugs and stuff like that. But when it comes to when the news gets around to the family, it's
Pee-wee football uniform. Pee-wee football uniform.
Pee-wee football uniform. You're right.
Holding his helmet, smiling. And he was a good little kid then. He was, I bet.
But now he's a piece of shit.
Now he's a
dead piece of shit.
Yep. He's got his grill in. He's got his gat. He's got his freaking money spread out. And he's got a blunt in his mouth. Give me a break.
Yeah. He's a piece of shit now.
Yep. Anyway,
you're making me mad. Not that I need a reason to drink.
We're making us mad too, Slow.
Hey, so speaking of 9/11, I just thought about this. So yesterday I went to the Whitewater Center. You guys familiar with it in Gastonia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whitewater Center, for everybody listening, is just a center where you can go actually have some whitewater rafting. It's actually a man-made deal. You can zip line, you can rock climb, and they have bands that play on stage. They have beer and wine and different things and food. So it's a place you can just go and bring a chair and sit down and watch some music, or you can get in a kayak, go down, or you get in a raft, zip line. It's really cool.
Wait.
You can also
you zip line in your kayak?
No, you can zip
You are
line
hardcore there.
and yeah, zip line with a
You
kayak.
hardcore.
Yeah, and then you pull a rope and you drop into the water. Yeah, like a seal or something, a Navy SEAL. No, but anyway, long story short, they had a first responder appreciation night last night.
Oh,
and
cool.
Guess whose band was playing? Gary Sinise.
Really?
Gary
Are you
Sinise's
serious?
band. Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan
band was playing. Yeah.
Holy
that's
cow.
cool.
And so we all went. All you had to do was get on your phone and RSVP, say you were coming. It's free.
Yeah.
$6 to park. Pulled up chair. I'm right there in front of the stage, and it's Gary Sinise. He plays the bass. Super guy, man.
Holy cow.
They play good music. Yeah, it was the Lieutenant Dan band.
Oh, man, that is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Gary Sinise. The guy all into 9/11, helping out charities.
Oh, yeah.
He's
He's
got
a
the
hell of a guy.
Lieutenant Dan vans that go around and help people in need. It's just a good dude, man. A good dude. Yeah. So
Man, that is
anyway, I had a
cool.
great
That's
time.
cool.
It was a good time.
I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah,
I'm
I
jealous.
wish. Yeah, you're too far away though, brother.
Yeah, you're right. I am.
Yeah.
I started running.
Lieutenant Dan, you don't have any legs.
I was going to go there, but I decided not to.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all decided to.
Yeah, that was good. No, but it was a good time. On a lighter note, that was really fun. That was a good time.
I could have got there if I started running soon enough.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go home now. That movie was too much, man.
It was. That's one of the movies that's hard for me to pass up when I'm flipping through the channels. I always stop on it every time I see it on.
Yeah, 3-hour movie though. Waiting about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'll stop and watch it a little bit, but I can't. Yeah, there's some movies like that. They come on and I can watch them again and again. And my wife's like, "You watching that again?" Yeah, John Wick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Equalizer too. The new Equalizer does not disappoint.
He does all his stunt stuff. He does all that himself.
Oh, you mean Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just jumped to Equalizer and Denzel Washington. He's badass too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Not keeping up over here, am I?
No,
He's taking notes.
I think we'll just blame it on a delay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but Equalizer 3, usually the third movie of 3
they
is usually
suck.
disappoint a little bit. Dude, this thing was solid. Oh yeah, he was as violent as ever. It was awesome. Yeah, it was really
nice.
good.
Have to keep that one in mind.
It doesn't disappoint. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
What is that, in the theaters? Where'd you say that?
It's in the theaters now. Yeah, I think my friend, buddy of mine, saw it bootlegged on his own TV. I don't know how to do that shit, but I went to the theaters and watched it. Worth every penny. Really, really enjoyed it. Yep, it was really good.
Deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Denzel Washington is one of my favorite actors. He's him and
He's really good. He's really
Keanu
insightful
Reeves,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he just any part he plays it. He's just a great actor, and I hear he's a good person too.
He's one of those actors. He can play a bad guy, and you could hate him.
Yep.
The next thing you watch him, he's playing a good guy, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm all for him." You know what I'm saying? It's just because he's just that good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
Fire away.
I thought about this. We all three of us, chose law enforcement as our profession and our career. What made you want to do that? Why did you feel the need to become a police officer, and when you did?
Go ahead.
Something.
Man, for me, I was working for EMS and had a lot of cop buddies. Carl Jeff Clark, known since was 18 years old, and sitting to listen to all these cop stories, man, and just listen, and they'd be on these calls, and you see them out on our ambulance calls and things, man. And I thought, man, that's cool. So I decided, man, you know what? I'm gonna apply and see what happens. And I was lucky enough to get hired.
So when you were 18, you were talking to Jeff, and you had to wait till you was 20, at least 20, to get hired. But you were at that time in '86, you was probably about 35, if I'm not mistaken. But
It's 26.
But is that the first time you ever thought, I think I'd like to be a cop? Is that the first time?
Oh, it was, man. I tell you, Yeah, just I didn't as a kid or anything. I didn't grow up like, now I'll be a cop, I'll be a cop or anything like that, man. It's just it just kind of happened. It's just this fella, yeah, it seemed very interesting, man. And nothing like too, on the EMS side, you got to recertify every 2 years.
Right.
I could go 18 years and then, for some reason start filling my certification, man, I'm out of a job. I'm out of, no retirement, nothing. And a lot of the stuff in law enforcement, as long as you stay active in it, you can keep your certification up, you don't have to recertify.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought, man, that's kind of easy. That's, listen to Jeff's, all their stores and stuff. And, so let me try this.
Okay, cool.
How about you, Rod?
I, one of those guys who wanted to be a cop all my life.
Okay.
Grew up playing cops and robbers in the street, doing the shit.
Was you always the cop?
Sneaking around. Yeah. I was never a bad guy. I was always a cop. Yeah. Always the enforcer, type mentality. And then as I was growing up, it stayed, but it was one of those things like, that'd be cool, but I never really grew out of it. I always thought it would be cool because my neighbor across the street was a police officer and the one next to him was Nassau County back in New York. And I talked to him about it too. And I just, I don't know, it kind of stuck with me. And then, I took criminal justice in college. Seemed appropriate. And I minored in psychology and political science, which helped. And then when I graduated, I was debating whether to do the law enforcement or go to law school and be a slimy lawyer. And I just was fed up with school. I'm not a student. I had to work at it, Yeah. And, but I ended up getting good grades and graduated. And then I guess, I know your question is, did you always want to be one? The answer is yes. But what pushed me into it too was I had on a personal note, my sister had a child. She had a problem with alcohol and she had a child, after I graduated and when I was 22, and, they were going to take the child from her because of the alcohol issue. And, she was going to go into the system. And, I got issues with that. Like I really strong with family. So I said, yeah. So I went down to South Carolina where she was, and I went to see the baby and I talked to not foster care people. Yeah, I guess whatever, the DSS, the people running the shit.
Yeah, Department of Social Services.
And I said, what would it, I just question out of nowhere, what would it take for me to take custody of her? And I'm 22 years old, just out of college, and they're like, well, you'd have to show a pattern of stability. And I said, okay, what does that look like? She goes, well, what's your situation? Did you go to college? I said, yeah, I went to college. And she goes, what'd you take? I said, criminal justice. She goes, what are you planning on doing with it? Like, are you planning on being a police officer or something like that? Because that would show you went to college for 4 years with criminal justice, and then you took your criminal justice degree and now you're a police officer. That would show stability. And I said, oh, okay. I went home and I applied that week. And long story short, I got hired and went back and told them I got hired. They handed me my niece.
Oh, really? Good deal. Good for you.
At 22 years old, yeah. And I was about to walk out I'm like, okay. I walk out the door and I'm like, wait a minute. I think I need a car seat. I went back in. I said, I ain't got a car seat. They gave me one, pulled one out of the closet. They had like 15 in there. Here you go. I'm like, wow, I don't know if this is really cool or if this is like really sketchy. But so I went home with a baby. And,
so how old was your niece? I didn't catch
she
that.
Was at that point she was about a year. Year after everything was done. Yeah,
she was tiny.
She was a baby.
I never knew about you, man. You think you know somebody?
Yeah. That's very admirable of you.
But yes, I always wanted to be a cop. And
how'd you like that big word I used?
Way to make us look bad, Rod and Nate.
What? You guys look great. You guys look great. Shit. Anyway, so yeah, everything was cool, and so that's how I did it, and I think God pushed me that way with the situation. So He really wanted me to be there, so that's what I did. And I'll tell you what, I was talking to my wife, who was also a retired police officer, and I said, say what you want to say. People look at our profession as like whatever. I don't want to do that. I want to do something. We're blessed, man. We're blessed. We
Absolutely.
both got pensions. We both are financially secure, and together we're really financially secure. And I don't, I stopped working last April in 22, and I haven't worked a day since.
Good for you.
I don't plan on working a day since. We've done some smart things, and everything's good. So what I'm trying to say is, I think the profession in two ways makes me feel fantastic. One, I know I saved a shitload of lives, helped a lot of people, saved a lot of kids, and the list goes on. And now I've done my 30 years. I'm going to be off for 30 years.
And the thing
have
about
some
that,
fun.
all the schooling you've had, everything that you've acquired as far as knowledge and training, you take that with you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I could have continued, we could have continued, how we are. We could continue into, a secondary law enforcement position and stuff, but I just closed the chapter 100%. I'm done.
That's me, brother.
I'm civilian.
That was me.
I'm done. And now I'm a bourbon drinking, cigar smoking.
Podcasting,
I got a trashy ass
YouTuber.
mouth too, and to go with it. And that's okay. And I can say what the hell I want now because I don't
right.
have a chief to have to report to now. It's me. I report to me.
Yep.
And
It's
and,
good
and,
that- it's
and
good
the
that
Lord
you-
above. And that's it. Yeah.
It's good that we all did our careers and retired and living pretty decent. And
I don't want for much. I don't have to be rich. I don't want for much. We travel. We do what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like me, I went back to work at the first at the ABC store because I wanted to.
yeah.
That was it.
Yeah,
Slow ride talked
absolutely.
me into it, then he got fired. But anyway, that's another story. But
That's a good thing about it. Yeah, they piss you off, you just go home.
yeah, exactly.
That's the
I'm
thing
going
because you already got your safety net. That's the thing. If something come along that I wanted to do, sure I'll do it. It's not like I'm against working at all. Period. I'm just saying I'm done with the law enforcement shit. Like if something come along nice, like I talked to you guys about it. Planning on moving south to Florida. If I could work on a fishing boat or on the ocean, doing something charters or anything like that, man, that really interests me because I'm an ocean
You
kid.
know
so.
what to change your name from Rodinator to Gilligan.
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 You get on a boat, man.
Aquanator. Call me the Aquanator.
Aquanator.
I'll grow my hair long too, like that Jason Momoa guy. I'll be a wrinkled up Jason Momoa.
No, that's funny.
Oh
That is
boy.
funny.
There you
So
go.
Hound Dogs, what you're saying about? Matter of fact, I quoted you today in the ABC store talking to another retired officer that he seen my tag, retired law enforcement tag,
Yeah.
which has really helped me out several times. The troopers up here, but he seen my tag and he asked me if the Jeep was mine. We started a conversation, and I said I can't take credit for this, but I quit my buddy Hound Dog. And Hound Dog, what do you say about retirement?
Best job I ever had.
That's what I told him. He started
Amen.
laughing and said, "You're exactly right."
Amen, brother. Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Yep. I think too with policing, there's a I almost think 30 years is too long. I know New York retirement's 20. If I would have stayed there, if I would have survived, I would have been retired at 44 instead of 54. But I think like 25 is about it because I think there's a burnout. And I think as you get farther and farther in your career, especially if you stay in patrol, you become less active. You become more cynical. You become more jaded.
Oh yeah,
And I just think that if you got these older guys going out at 20, 25 years and you had younger people being hired, it would be a double effect of getting rid of some of the old dead weight, so to speak, the cynical, the jaded people, and getting new hard chargers coming, You keep renewing it.
I tell you, I've told this story before. True story. I'm like a rookie. 29 and a half years, 29 years to go. Still a rookie. One of the old heads asked me, he says, "Rookie, how long you got?" I said, 29 years. He said, "Man, if I was you, I'd just go ahead and shoot myself." And I'm thinking, there'd been a new guy coming in. Man, I do this for free. This is great, But now you fast forward, 29 years, I'm thinking, you know what? I know exactly what that fellow was talking about.
That's a hell of a training officer. Hey, if I was you, I'd just blow my fucking brains out, right?
Yeah.
Appreciate
over
that,
with.
pal. What do you want to eat today?
Yeah.
You want to get some spaghetti?
true
Get some meat sauce. Yeah.
True
Jesus.
story, man.
No.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you about that. Don't get
I'll
me
tell you
started
what.
on training officers. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, that's a whole nother story too, man. I got a bunch of, Jeff Clark and with Carl with the Renegade Pigs. We lost him, but a bunch of stories I got to share on YouTube, man. It's going to be There's got to be upcoming episodes. You got to talk about some my adventures. None of us law enforcement. None of us law enforcement related. But speaking of adventures, you like that segue?
I did.
You just got back from yet another trip.
I did. I just got back from the Florida Keys. Went to Key West on the motorcycle. My second decently large trip. My first trip was across the country, 10,000 miles with 6 guys and 35 days, 30 states. And that was epic. But this one was a little bit shorter, but it was to the Florida Keys. I wanted to go down there. It was a bucket list thing for me to ride across. If you guys are familiar with the 7 Mile Bridge.
Yeah.
It's the one that goes across attaches all the keys and blah, 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 and goes out to Key West. Just wanted to ride the bike on that. It's kind of a bucket list thing. So me and a buddy who's also retired, CMPD, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police. Everybody else was busy or was working again. So we took off, just me and him. It was a great trip. Halfway down, we went from Charlotte to Daytona, which is about halfway, 500 miles first day. And then we went the rest of the way to the Keys the second day. 2 nights in the Keys, and on the way back, stopped in Daytona again, spent the night there and a day at the pool and the beach, which was fantastic, and then home. So about 2,000 miles round trip. But Key West, I tell you, was awesome, with the exception of, I think because of the storm, Idalia was her name?
Yeah.
The hurricane.
Yep.
I think it stirred up a lot of shit, and the beaches were you really couldn't go in the water. There was a lot of debris.
Man.
Yeah, debris. And so we didn't get to go in the water and spend on the beach, but we had a nice pool at the place and all that. And we were on Duval Street. Duval Street appears to be the main drag for all the bars and everything, which was phenomenal. And we just made it a point to hit every damn one of them.
I see a pattern here, Rod Nader.
You do. And that's fine. And you're right about the pattern. You're dead on. Your detective skills have not left you. And I think Hound Dog saw a video of me. So
I did. Oh man, yeah, I was going to ask you about that. All right, so let me lay the groundwork.
Lay the groundwork. Yeah.
So I'm cruising on Facebook, checking things out, and I see a post that Rod's wife put on Facebook. It was Rod. Looked like he was standing on some kind of a stage or behind a podium or something with a beer in his hand. I was like, what in the hell is he going to do?
It wasn't a Bud Light, was it?
A Guinness. Hell no, it was no.
It was a Guinness? Was it really a Guinness?
That was a Guinness, yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Even better.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see, I'm watching this, and I see a clock counting down. Or I see the guy counting. No, was the guy counting down? Then the clock showed behind
no,
him?
he was going to start the clock, and then I had to drink the beer as fast as I could to beat the young stud who went in front of me.
Okay, so what was the time? What was his time?
His was 4 points. This was 4.64 seconds.
Good grief.
4.64 seconds.
Now this is in a glass, right? This is in a glass.
It's it's one of those large Guinness glasses you would get at. Yeah. It was like called Irish Rob's Bar. Yeah. And what it was is this guy was up there performing, and then he had some people come up and say, "Hey, we got some free beer up here, free pint of Guinness. People come up here and drink, see who can drink the fastest, And I had no intention of doing anything. I'm just sitting there watching. A couple girls go up there.
What?
It doesn't sound right all night, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. A couple girls go up there and do it, and they do decent. One kind of throws up on herself, so it's kind of funny and blah, blah, blah. Well, then I get one guy. Good times. Yeah, good times. One guy goes up there because I have a lot of younger kids there, a lot younger than me. Then another guy goes up and does it, and then this other dude comes walking up, if you can picture it. Young guy, stud-like looking, cut off sleeves, tats, kind of muscled up, kind of walks up there like this, And the guy's like, uh-oh, here he comes. Just came from the gym. I mean, the guy's hammering him. Yeah, hammering the guy. Look at his hair. All
the gym's that way.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes, ready to go, and he hits it, and he did it like in 4.64 seconds. So I looked at my buddy. I said, I kind of went, and I went back to drinking my drink, He goes, is there anybody else who wants to try that? And nobody was chiming up. And all of a sudden, of course, my buddy goes, yeah, right here. This guy over here. And he's pointing at me. And I'm like, wait a minute. He goes, and he keeps saying, no, right here. And then the announcer goes, well, I see you saying he wants to, but I don't see him standing up. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I stood up. I said, all right, let's do this. So I came around on stage and I get up on the podium and he goes, you want to go? I said, yeah, I want to go. Calling me out like that? Fuck yeah, let's do this. And he starts running his mouth because he says, hey, what's your name? I go, it's Rod, R-O-D. And he goes, okay. And he gets up, he goes, so Rod, R-O-D, which he had to tell me, of course, because he thought I was going to call him Rob. He goes, boy, look at him. Look at the size of this guy. I almost tore my arm off. And I'm sitting there going, dude, let's just get on with this fucking thing, because I'm standing up here and he's like, And so, and I knew it wasn't going to be a problem because I've trained for this my whole life. College, fraternity life. I mean, this is like a walk
You're
in
a
the park.
professional. You got a podcast.
Yeah, it was like a professional baseball player playing little league here. I mean, this is ridiculous. So I'm sitting here going, let's go. I think you saw it, Hound Dog. I'm going, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
And finally he goes, okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. And I threw it back. It was like 3.4?
Oh, it was fast.
Yeah, 3.4 seconds. And my buddy zooms in on the clock. He fucking did it. He's going bananas in the bar, and the bar's going crazy. And I come down, and then you didn't win anything. I just got to drink a pint of beer, which was cool.
Yeah.
And I got to take the little young stud there and just kind of like put him back where he belongs, back him up a little bit and tell the announcer, like, there you go. So
yeah, what I liked about it, Rod, was after you finished your beer, you was kind of like, all right, so what's next? Turned around and walked off.
Yeah, I turned the beer glass over, dropped it where it was, and I walked off stage. People come up, high five, I'm like, appreciate it. That was
like
it.
A mic drop.
Yeah, it was a glass drop, but that was cool. It was called Irish Rob's Bar. It was a really good place. It's always packed, so it was a real nice place. But my point it's called Duval Street, and they have all the bars up and down, and it just had every type of bar. Adam and Eve was a bar. We go to the third floor, and clothing is optional. Adam and Eve. You go to the top bar.
No, let's back up. This is you and some guy?
Yep.
All right.
How
many beers did you have?
Very secure of my manhood. Yep, we're good.
One
and we
free
were both
one.
fully closed. Yeah. We go to the top there, and of course you get in there and you're thinking like, all right, let's see some, maybe we can see some, nice looking old, ugly, saggy. Is people, I mean, on the planet, we're naked walking around up there drinking. Like people who shouldn't be naked, they were naked. So we left, we turned around, went back out, went down, said, we checked the box. We were there. We saw it, but that was about it.
So what's the selling point for this bar? Take your clothes off and drink? What's the selling point for the bar?
It's just clothing optional. And that draws people in because some people just want to be nude, like the nude beaches, right? There's no draw on the beach except being naked. But, you have a bathing suit on. How naked do you want to be, right? But some people just want that shock value, I guess, or want to be like, hey, look at me. I'm so secure in myself. Even though I look like dog shit, I'm naked. Look at this, and
looks like
whatever.
A melted candle.
Yeah, exactly. You look like you're damn a deflated balloon walking around or whatever. So anyway, we got out of there, but it was a really nice time. Everybody rode bicycles up and down to get places. Went to Jimmy Buffett died like somewhere during my trip.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, or right before, and I went down to Margaritaville, right? I'm not a big Jimmy Buffett fan, but I went down to Margaritaville.
Man, I've been a pair ahead forever.
Yeah, I got her a couple shirts from there and a beach towel and stuff like that. They're really playing that up. And yeah, but it was good though, but the thing about it is you go to Key West and that's kind of where we stayed because the other Keys, there's a couple of other places you can go. Again, thus the name Keys, it attaches little islands, so to speak. But that was the place to be. So we had a really good time. And 2 days, 2 nights was perfect. And then we headed all back. So but it was a really good trip and I recommend it. Even if you're going to fly in, they got an airport if you just want to fly down there and check out Key West or drive the car. So.
I had
we have bikes too.
Yeah, the bike that I had before my last bike.
Can I trailer mine down there?
Yeah, I was going to say, Slow, you and your bar bike. I don't know if you want to take that trip, brother.
But my old bike, I had a 2002 Electric Glide Classic. It made the trip to Key West, but I wasn't on it. I let a buddy borrow it.
Oh wow!
He had a bar bike and he couldn't ride it that far, so I let him ride mine.
That was nice of you. Yeah. It's not a bad trip. It's like straight down 95, but basically is what Highway 95. So it's just highway miles, set the cruise and go.
Did you get rained on it at all?
About 15 seconds of Florida pop up thunder, rain, but with the sun out, like weird shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, just a little bit, but and it was just for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and we stopped and ate while it was going on, and then we took back off.
That's cool.
Yeah, the weather down there is very unpredictable because it's right down the, it just kind of just flows through fast, and you never know what you're going to get. All of a sudden it's raining, all of a sudden it's sunny. So yeah, that's it. So it's a good trip.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Deal.
Hell yeah.
Just you and you one buddy.
Yeah, we asked the same crew that went to California back with me, and none of them could do it because they're all working again.
Yeah.
And have stuff to do, which is
Hey, speaking
understandable.
of that, any words from Chopper Dave?
Yeah, he's in Florida helping clean up after Idalia.
Is really?
With the helicopter, Duke Power. Yeah. So he flies around and checks the power lines and helps with all that stuff. So he was down there. He said, you son of a bitch, as you drive by, just wave because I'll be working. I'm like, I'll flip you the bird, you bastard, So that was it.
Yeah, because you choose to work.
Yeah. So, but he was down there in Florida with us, but he wasn't with us. He was doing the helicopter thing. So Chopper Dave is doing the chopper thing.
So Chopper Dave's good and well.
Yeah, we need to
Just
get him on
busy.
here, man. You need to pressure him and get him on here for at least one episode.
I know. But he lives like an hour away, so you'd have to come here, and somehow we'd have to do this thing, or you'd have to call, and we have to make sure we have that all set up, like we were talking about, and maybe you could call on or something. I don't know, because
We're trained
I only have one
professionals.
set up here. What's that?
Oh, yeah.
We're trained professionals. We know what we're doing.
Well, we're on
Yeah, well,
YouTube now. You
I'm
can
glad-
look at that
I'm
and
glad
tell
you
me
guys
what
are.
I'm doing.
I'm glad you guys are. I just do this shit by the seat of my pants. I don't know.
All right, guys, it's that time of night. Rod and Nate are revisiting the Liquor as a Dog. Any thoughts on the Evan Williams?
Yeah, but I thought it was decent. Like I said, I gave it 5.5, but it's just I don't know, just not my favorite. Sometimes I'd like it, sometimes I wouldn't. So it wouldn't be a daily drinker for me.
Yeah.
Hey, it says
Same
right
here.
right on the label. I'm sorry. It says Kentucky's first distiller
Really?
since 1783.
Wow.
Okay. Yep, I see that myself. Yeah. Huh.
Y'all can see that little writing without your glasses.
See,
Holy
Hound
cow.
Dog, I can read.
It's across the
can.
room, Hound Dog.
I'm
I'm looking
proud.
at it. I got about 15 feet away. I can see it.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
you-
mine.
For me, it's okay. It wasn't a daily drinker, but it's not bad.
Well,
Better than I thought it would be.
Life's been good to all three of us. It really has.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm just a regular old Joe, man, and and I'm pinching pennies, I'd drink this. It's a nice.
Oh no, sure.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah, absolutely.
listen. I drank Mad Dog 2020 in college, dude. I'll drink anything.
Well, it's not like Old Tub. We tried Old Tub at one time. I think it's the worst thing
Oh,
we
it
ever
was
had was
horrible.
Old Tub.
Man, it was
I
horrible.
just remember drinking Mad Dog 2020 grape and throwing up grape. That's all I remember. Yeah. Like I said, I was in training a long time for that drink off. I crushed them.
Well, you did us proud. We're proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good story, man. I'm glad I got to hear that.
I got to send you the video, dude.
Yeah, we got to see that. Yeah, we got to learn. There's a way we can put these things up on our YouTube. We got to find out
I
how
don't
to
have
do
to
that.
post it. I just said for you to see.
I'm talking about we could pull it up and actually look at it during the podcast and rate it.
That would be
gotcha.
cool.
Yeah,
That would
there's
be
a way to
cool.
do it. I just hadn't figured it out yet, man.
Maybe we'll
If you
get a
notice-
producer on that.
I tell you, if you notice, people that follow us on Facebook on YouTube, each week it gets a little better because we're learning as we go as we're making.
You're right. We're
I
definitely
gotcha.
learning as we go. It's a
All right,
learning
guys.
curve.
Yeah, I'm with you guys same way, man. Yeah, if I pitching pennies, yeah, I drink it, but no, it's a mixture for me. It's not a daily drinker. There's so many other good things out there still that's reasonably priced.
Right.
I can beat this, but this their entry level bourbon, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I agree.
You can't fault Evan Williams for the bourbon. It's pretty good.
Nah.
Yep. It's the
Oh,
Kentucky
man.
straight bourbon.
Yep. And I guess what I would say too is I really enjoyed 9/11 chat and focusing on that today.
Yeah,
I think
one
it was,
more, man. One more to the guys. 9/11.
Yeah, absolutely.
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 Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, I just, I think it's really important. History is very important, and that history is extremely important.
It is.
To see what can happen, we let our guard down, and then also can see what happened when we do get hit and we all come together. because right now we are so freaking separated and so divided over the stupidest shit. Not even big items, like little items, like little things that they just keep us fighting and nipping at each other. And it's just ridiculous. And until we all overcome that and just say, listen, we need to look at the macro, the big picture here, what's going on, and all got to get on the same page, because
I agree.
This little bickering stuff is killing us, man. It's killing us.
You're right. And we are right now, we are the laughing stock of the world.
Literally.
Oh, do you guys ever watch Sky News? Do you hear what Sky News?
Yeah.
They make fun of us all the time.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't watch it because they make fun of us all the time.
But
they
they're
make fun
right.
of Joe Biden all the time.
You got to watch them. They're exactly right, though, man. They hit her spot on.
Yeah, they'll show like Biden's falling asleep at a meeting and just like laugh. It's so sad.
Oh, while we're on this subject right quick. So he gave the Congressional Medal of Honor to a veteran.
I saw that. I know exactly where you're going with it. Yep.
And he walks out in the middle of the damn ceremony.
Not only that, hound dog. Just 1 second, Slow. I know we're done. All this COVID shit, right? Right?
Yeah.
All this COVID shit.
Yeah.
His freaking wife, Dr. Jill, has COVID, right? Biden is Jill's husband. So obviously they're close. He goes and gives this medal to this old dude who's like 150, right? Without his little mask on, which supposedly works, right? And gets right up on him, puts the medal on him and all this stuff. If that was Trump or Bush or somebody, they'd be like, my God, he put that man's life in jeopardy, right?
By
not wearing a mask. He could have been infected by Jill, right? And all this other stuff. But nothing said about it. But I mean, and also he walks out and leaves the guy standing on the stage.
Man, that's so
with no closing. There was no closing, Slow. It was nothing. He gave him the medal, looks around like this, like a dumbass, and just
that guy was
scoots off.
A war hero.
Yes,
he was a war hero.
It is a war hero.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah, and he's just standing, and he actually, this was his face. He's like, that's him. Yeah. He's like, okay, is anybody going to cue me in? Am I done here? What do I got to do?
I think I'll just walk off. I'll walk straight through the crowd, go home.
Yeah, it was disgraceful.
Yeah, what an idiot. I didn't vote for him.
Oh, who would? Well, I know who would. Never mind. Well, there's 22 that. Anyway, guys, great podcast, man. 9/11 again. I loved it. Keep it in mind, heroes all around, and never forget, man. Just never forget, because it can happen again.
Well, you're exactly right, man. Exactly right.
Yep.
A couple of shout outs here. Special thanks to our partners at Black Rifle Training Group, Law Enforcement Today at lawenforcementtoday.com, Boone's Bourbon.
Drink Boone's Bourbon.
Just see where Tennessee's going to start carrying Boone's Bourbon. I asked them about it the other day, and those over there, they haven't seen it yet, but hopefully it's coming.
I went and bought a bottle yesterday, actually.
Sweet.
You know what? Boone's Bourbon does have mini bottles, because when they took us on the tour of the distillery Slow, the owner actually fills the mini bottles himself.
Yeah. It's pretty neat to see the whole process.
Yeah. And I asked the local guy here, said, you ever get Boone's in the mini bottles? No, we don't get that. Okay.
Sounds a little hateful.
He ain't got to grumble at me.
Yeah, he did. He grumbled at me.
But, all right, guys, any last shout outs?
No, you guys are awesome. I enjoy it. Podcasting thing's awesome. Lets me blow off steam and makes my day. So I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff, man. Hey, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. We appreciate it, man. Always these thumbs ups. Let us know. Leave a comment in the comment section. We check it at least every day, every other day. We'll get back with you, man. If any topics you want to talk about, any seriousness topics, you want some cops thought process on it, man, shoot us a line. We may not agree, man, but at the end of the day, we may not agree, but we'll give you our thoughts on things.
We got plenty of cop stories if you want to hear them. We just sometimes think you might as well get bored of it, but
Well, no, man. I think the thing people like is the cop stories, and I got a bunch of Jeff Carl's I'm going to share in the upcoming episodes. Guys, I appreciate it, and as always, I love you guys.
Yep. Take care, guys. Until next week. Have a good week.
I've got a Renegade Pig shout out this week. We hadn't done that in a while. We're going out to North Jersey, the Axe Paul Lazinski's chapter, North Jersey.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Love you guys up there.
Ride safe. Yeah.
Yep. Let's drink about it and drink responsibly.
Absolutely. Take care, fellas.
Now, you first responders out there, please be careful and watch your backs.
This has been a Studio 77 production. You mean it's over? Well, shit.